What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Man, it is nice to be back here in our hometown, Buffalo, New York. If you guys are subscribers of the channel, you guys will probably realize or recognize this spot. I filmed so many videos right here, so it's so cool. We have the Ram Rebel with us in the spot that I've done so many videos on other past cars, but you guys aren't here for this video to hear me ramble on about that. We are talking about the SmartCap Evo that we have on my 2019 Ram Rebel 1500 and how it's been so far. And I want to give you guys my updated impressions after we've driven this thing now literally from LA back to Buffalo, New York. So we put 2,500 miles on this setup, plus and I've done other road trips and been driving around for a while. So give you guys my updated impressions, how we've been using it, and really how this thing has transformed the way that I use the truck. Let's get into it. So obviously, guys, the main hero here is this back end. So long story short, give you guys a quick recap. I got the SmartCap Evo literally, I want to say 2 or 3 days after I purchased the truck. This was like a couple of months ago. I knew I wanted to get a cap for the back, and I was doing my research looking at which other options there were out there. I did kind of land on the SmartCap Evo, the adventure one, the one that comes with little doggy doors, and this is the one that I wanted. And it was actually really hard to try to find this one. At the time, they were out of stock everywhere. I had to literally do a search on Craigslist, and a shop in San Diego had one. So we went down literally that same day, had it installed, and it's been on the truck ever since then. So we've been using this thing to help us with our transportation of our dogs and all of our luggage. So the nice thing about this thing, which everyone talks about, are the locking doors. So let me undo that, and you have access to the sides. So the little doggy windows, they can go actually at different lengths. You can go like here, and then you can even go like there, or fully open. We have our 2 huskies, and even with this fully open, our dog can stick his head out, but it's not big enough so that they're gonna jump out of it. If you have a small dog, yeah, they'll probably jump out, but for our dogs, that's totally fine. I love the fact that you can open up all of the back. So let me do that real quick. Give you quick access to everything that you would need. And then you have full access to everything. So with our setup, what we did that we found to be pretty nice for the dogs was, everything's kind of a mess right now, but we had all of our stuff bungeed on one side, and then we had the dogs on the other side. Now this is still like my quick, easy setup. If you guys want to check out the video that I did when I did this setup, you can check it out. I have the card right there, and it'll be linked down below. This is a very basic setup for camping and overlanding and road tripping. Plan to build this out a lot more, but just having the extra space to allow me to be able to do this has really helped. Honestly, I can't overemphasize that enough. This alone has made the truck feel much more usable because there's so much more storage space that I can have back here. Things that I really do like about this design is that the fact that it does come with we did get these extra roof rack rails installed, so you can see them up there. So that does allow us to able to run. We have the awning up here. And that will allow us to get a rooftop tent. This thing can hold weight on it. So that's one thing I do like about this thing. This is like really high quality. I'm not even really sure what this is. I think it's aluminum, but it's like really high quality. That's the thing I do like about that. It's not fiberglass. It's not like it's gonna break under weight. This thing is actually pretty heavy and pretty stout by itself. You can actually mount a rooftop tent up there, and that's what we plan on doing. To tell you the truth, while we're back here, I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace, see if I can find one second owned. That's relatively lower on the price range, so I got my eye out for that. But that's the thing though I do like about this, that you can actually put stuff up on top, so it does give us even more storage. If I do want to run a rooftop tent up there, which I do, it leaves me a space for running rails up here. I can run either some extra storage up here, or I can even run some solar panels up on top of the actual truck itself. So it gives us even more space and more flexibility when it comes to mounting stuff up on top of the vehicle. The other thing that I really like a lot is just the fact that it does have the extra bypass window over there. as you can see, I was able to run a fan through there for the dogs, and then if I want to, we open up the little truck back hatch and we can have access to reach back in and touch the dogs, see how they're doing and stuff like that. So I really like that. And then the other thing that's also really cool is there's actually like that little I guess little window for the light of the bed of the truck. So when that's on, it illuminates the actual bed of the truck itself. And there is a third brake light that is installed up there, so that is nice. We did put in some extra little LED lights just to have a little bit more lights when we're stopped, and if I just want to turn them on, have a little bit more lights, that's nice. The way that this thing is mounted is actually mounted by a whole bunch of these C clamps, so you can take this off in theory. This thing is it's kind of beastly to take on and off. I plan on leaving this thing on all the time, but do be wary when you do get it installed, or if you install it yourself, you do want to make sure that after a while that these are stayed like clamped down. So when we had this installed, they told us after about like 100 or so miles, every so often, just check them. That's what we did, and these things are holding up fine. Sometimes they could just unbolt just a little bit, so just tighten them down a little bit more. Other thing I will say is that these struts are actually pretty strong. So like, I mean, I can close it with one hand pretty easily, but you can feel the resistance. So these things do want to go up. So these are pretty nice struts. I did hear people complaining about the locks, that in extreme cold that they'll freeze and break, which I know that could be a issue. Luckily for us, I don't know how much cold weather camping we're going to be doing, so we don't really have to worry about that too much. Part of the reason why we moved from Buffalo to LA, because I don't want to deal with the cold, but I can see how that could be an issue. Now, with this kit, it came with a lot of spare keys. One thing people are saying is that the fact that they're universal keys, so every so often SmartCap will release a new set of locks and keys so you can update them, because if those keys get around, you know, anyone with it can technically come up and unlock it. But we haven't had any issues. I mean, knock on, you know, everything, but we haven't had any issues, so that's been pretty good. But overall, I mean, I think so far it's been a pretty nice setup, and I'm really digging the way this thing looks on the truck. I will say the future plans for this will be able to store more stuff. We can store more kitchen utensils and stuff like that, so we have a better setup for like cooking, and then also a better setup for kitchen stuff. But for us, we travel with our dogs, so we wanted to make sure that our dogs can always be comfortable when they're with us. So this has really helped out a lot, just having a nice comfortable space for them that is safe. I would like to have a better system of strapping everything down. Right now I'm just using bungees. Like I said, that video, if you want to see the setup, is in my last video. I'll have it linked down below. But at least so far, that's been pretty nice. Then I will say, I know with SmartCap, they do even have this actual kitchen setup that you can put on this side or on either side. So when you open it up, there's like this thing that flips down. I think that's a cool little setup. I don't know if we want to fully do that, but if you're looking to do something like that, you can do. So I do like that there is modular pieces that you can purchase that will go with this system. Was this a cheap setup? I actually forgot how much it is. I'll have it priced down below. Was it cheap? No, but a lot of times it really is true. You pay for what you get, and I think this is like, honestly, is a pretty nice system. I did look at some of the other ones, the Lear ones. I did look at the ARE ones. They were nice. You have to custom make those. Just the time frame that I was running on, it would have took too long for it to come. So I do like the fact that this one is kind of like pre-made and pre-built, and it's like you could throw it on there. I love the fact that it's black. I don't have to worry about paint matching it or anything like that. It looks good with the white, so that's the reason why I kind of went with this setup. This thing is set up nicely, and I really like the way this thing looks on the truck. But guys, you need to check out this video right here. This was our epic road trip all the way from Los Angeles, California, back to Buffalo, New York with the SmartCap Evo. Check this video out.